Hey guys, welcome back to Jobless Developer. This is Sid back with another development course. In this course, we'll be learning about what a website is and what it's made up of. And there's a disclaimer before we proceed anything further. Thing is, you don't need to have any prior programming experience in order to watch this course. Everything will be taught in my way of explaining a piece of code, so don't worry about that one. Well, without any further wastage of time, let's dive into the course content.
It's an ongoing thing.
Before I start the course, let's name the course. I would like to name it as Full Stack Development. So, this answer is for those people who have a lot of questions. You might be wondering why I named it as a full stack development, but why is it not a web development, which is simple and easy to understand. Don't worry guys, I will get back to that one for sure. Well, before I explain what that is, I need to explain what a website is, because I just want few things to be clear before we proceed on to the further topics. The first thing is, let's look at a website. In order to look at a website, let's take an example. Our same old savior at the time of trouble. Let's take the Google as into consideration. Today's example is Google. Unleash your inner Sherlock Holmes. Try to spot whatever things you can on this website. It can be colors, it can be shape, it can be size, it can be text, it can be whatever it is, where it is located, aligned at. Pause the video for a minute, or you can just open the website by yourself and you can look it on your screen and you can spot whatever things you can. And here is what I spotted so far. Let me describe them for you. The first thing is, it's having a really nice background image or color. Okay, I'm not being sarcastic over here. Let's go into detail for now. We can see that there is a good plain background, white background with a nice image as a Google image. We can see there is a box in the center. There is two small boxes below the box. Okay, that can be button. So every people in this generation know that that's a button. And there are few text written on the top right, top left, bottom right, bottom left. And you can see that the bottom color is gray compared to that of the other background color. That's a nice thing, right? I guess you even spotted these things out, like the button color is gray, the button is rectangle in color, whereas the box above the buttons are having a rounded borders. You can find a mic icon, you can find a search icon, and if you're looking on your website on your screen, you can see that once you move your cursor on this, there's a nice effect, right? There's a shadow effect on the buttons as well. That's great. Once I move the cursor on this link, you can see that there's a hand icon, there's an underline coming up. But if I do on this, there's nothing. It's plain on cursor itself. There are a lot more things that you can spot on this. That's called as elements of a website. It's just like the parts of the body. You can see the parts of the body, the same as the elements. You can look at the elements of the website. Without the elements, there is no website. Each and everything that you spot on a website is considered as an element of a website. Okay, I understand it. I will not go anything in the technical way for now. Everything that you have spotted is really interesting, right? Well, at the end of this course, we'll try to develop all these websites by yourself and you'll be really proud of it. Before I jump anything detailed and further, I will start by explaining the course content. So, Sid, now you explain me what a website is, that's alright. But why is this course called as a full stack development? Okay, let me explain it in a step-by-step process. Let me explain you guys the existing current scenario. It's a real life story though. Before, a long time ago, there used to be separate designations, separate departments in order to program all these things. There used to be three departments called as front end department, back end department, and database department. Front end department is that department which will look with the elements. For example, all the things that you spot on the website are called as elements. That is what you have learned so far. And how to arrange these elements. The buttons are at the center of the screen. They can go at the right and left of the screen as well. They can be aligned. So how do you do that? Everything operations related to the elements comes with the front end department. All the things that you can spot with your eyes comes with the front end department role. Whereas all the things that you cannot see, such as the process. Let me give you a full real time example. You can look at the parts of the body, but you cannot look at the signals that have been sent by the brain and to the other parts of the body, right? If you are lifting a hand, you can see that the hand has been lifted, but you don't see the signals that have been passing through the nerves. So that is what called as a backend. The thing which you don't see but still exist is called as a backend. Then what do you mean by the database? All the information are being stored in the database. It's just that in a layman terminology, what do you do with the information? You update the information, you delete the information, you create information, or you read the information. These are the basic operations that you perform on a data, right? If you look at the information, for example, let's take my name. I'm creating my name as a Sid. I can modify my name as well. I can update my name as well. That's same as a modifying. I can delete my name. I can read my name. So these are the basic operations that you can perform on every data, and all these things can be happened with the help of a database. The reason you can do these operations without a database as well, but if you want to store a lot of data, for example a million information, million, what do we say, if there is in a company there are million employees working over there, all the information about the million employees need to be stored somewhere, right? So we can store with it in a database, and all the operations happening with the database will be managed by the people who are responsible for that department. So now that you know what a front end is, what a back end is, what a database is, the other thing you need to know is what a full stack development means. Full stack is nothing but the combination of all these three things: front end, back end, and a database. All these three things together comprises to become a full stack. These days they are looking for a single person who can perform all these three operations. So now that you know what a full stack development means, we will go and look at what all things we will learn in this course, in this duration, because you need to understand what it is. In my previous playlist, I have been teaching C language over there. There you know the concept, right? You know that you are going to learn C alone, but here you're learning full stack development, which is a combination of front end, back end, and database. What all things you'll be learning in the front end, what all things you'll be learning in the back end, and what all things you'll be learning in the database. These are the main things that you need to know. First, we'll start our course by learning the basic scripting language. Don't worry why I'm naming it as a scripting language, because all these things, the definitions part, all the describing natures, what the things in detail will be explained once I start that topic. So first we'll learn what HTML is, and then we will go and learn the advanced HTML concept, which is nothing but HTML5. Once we learn what HTML and HTML5 is, we'll try to develop 2 to 3 websites using the HTML concepts alone. So the HTML includes HTML5 as well. Don't just worry that it's an old version of HTML I'm developing websites by. I'm using the new HTML concept itself. Then we will look at the styles. You can see that all the elements on the websites over here are having styles. See, when I'm hovering it or when I'm moving the cursor on that box, you can see a shadow dropping by. That effect can be created with the help of CSS, which is nothing but the cascading style sheet. Once we get to know what CSS is, we will learn the advanced CSS concept, that is nothing but CSS3, and try to develop 2 to 3 websites using HTML and CSS. HTML as in HTML5, CSS as in CSS3. Once we learn what HTML is and what CSS is, we'll then go with the logics. You need logics in a website. Even though if it's just a front-end website, there might be few logics. And I'll explain what these logics are when we learn JavaScript. And in this JavaScript, we'll learn two concepts, that is ES6 and ES7. Few basic concepts of ES7. We will mostly use ES5 and ES6 because most of the browsers do support ES5, ES6, but very few have few troubles with the ES7 concept. So we will stick by with ES5, ES6, and we'll know what ES7 concepts do include. And once we have these things in our hand, we'll develop 2 to 3 applications. The reason being it's called as application because you're having logic, JavaScript included in this. So we'll develop using HTML, CSS and JavaScript. Once we learn what HTML is, what CSS is, what JavaScript is, then we'll learn what is called as a Bootstrap and develop 1 to 2 websites using it. The reason being I'm saying 1 to 2 websites because we'll develop a whole live website. We'll take existing application or existing website and we'll try to recreate that website. So this Bootstrap makes your CSS be easy. The final thing that we need to know is we need to develop website by taking less stress. Why do we need to take more stress by developing website? Let's do it in a simple way. So Bootstrap will make your CSS go easy. The reason I'm teaching the Bootstrap later on is because you need to understand the styles first. Once you understand the styles in detail, then only we can modify the existing styles according to our needs. Once we learn what Bootstrap is, we will learn two other concepts called as a jQuery and Ajax. Using these two, we will develop 2 to 3 applications. The same goes with this one as well. We'll develop 2 to 3 applications using jQuery and Ajax. We'll just go with the basics of Ajax. We'll not go in depth because there are only few things that we need to know for. So we'll learn the Ajax, and with this we'll conclude our front-end development. So once we know what a front-end development, we'll try to implement all these things and create one whole website if time permits. If not, then we'll go with the backend, where in the backend development includes two concepts, Nodejs and Expressjs. Once we learn what Nodejs and Expressjs is, then we'll look at what API calls are. Don't worry about these concepts right now because it takes a very long time to learn front end. First let's learn front end, then it's really easy to learn backend. Everyone thinks that backend is really tough, but once you understand the concepts and logic behind in the backend, it's the same concepts that have been repeatedly being used. Because for example, if you take login, the login is same for all the websites. The register is same for all the website. Adding a product to a cart is same for all the other Shopify related websites. So learn a single concept and the same concept will be used in all the websites. Whereas even the front end will be the same thing though. It's the same thing, but the different thing is you modify the styles according to your needs. Just the style varies. You can see it, right? Amazon, eBay, all these things are same. The Flipkart, everything is same, but just the website differs. Backend project a product, the backend process will be the same. The front end varies, right? Just how the way it looks, it varies. Although the speed varies as well, but depending upon how complex you write the program, the speed varies. So once you know what a front end is, what a back end is, then we will learn the database. In this database, we will learn one technology which is called as a Mongodb, and using this Mongodb, we'll try to implement the database concepts, and if time permits, remember this guys, and if time permits, I will even teach MySQL, because you need to know what a node database is and what a database structure is. Don't worry about these things, but for sure we'll learn MongoDB, and if there's time permits, we'll go with MySQL, because the reason being said is that with the help of MongoDB, with the help of front end, with the help of back end, I will try to create a bigger website with a bigger application. Once we get to know all these things, all the technologies, we'll develop a website by ourselves. So it's like, in this course duration, we are basically concentrating on 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 and whole thing together 13. So the whole course duration, we will try to develop 13 websites. So everything will be like a mini project for you guys as well. It will be like a stepping stone for your success. Don't worry guys, everything will be taught in a step-by-step process, but make sure to stay tuned for more updates.